Hey everybody, I'm Ryan. Behind the camera is Jonelle. We're here today to show you some of the tips that we use whenever making videos. So I'm going to be playing around in this playground a little bit and show you some of the things that go through our minds whenever we're looking for good shots. But first of all, one of the most important things is lighting. And we sort of lucked out today. As you can tell, it's raining. It's kind of an overcast day. Some of that overcast lighting, that soft lighting, is really great for making sure you get good shots. Way better than having a harsh sun in my face where I'm squinting, or a harsh sun behind me where I'm silhouetted. Great lighting, we lucked out with it, so we're going to go ahead and get a couple shots real quick and show you what we're talking about. So it's important to get a variety of different shots, and it's always good to start with a scene setter, an overall shot where you can see sort of everything. Use height to your advantage. We're on top of a piece of playground equipment right now, and you can look out and see all the wonderful, beautiful little kids having a great time on this beautiful day, just laughing, having fun. That was wet. So the next kind of shot is a medium shot. Make sure that you have not really close detail, not really far away, but just something right in the middle. The final shot is a detail shot. Well, we were going to get a shot of water coming out, but it's not working. So we'll settle for the button instead. Let's talk about continuity, shall we? What you want to look for to make your shots a little more exciting are repetitive motions. A good example would be somebody swinging. You can cut from a faraway shot to a detail shot and make it look like there's actually more than one camera, and just make a little more excitement in your package that you put together. So let's show you what we're talking about. So now we need to talk about actually interviewing people. Let me see if I can find someone to interview. Oh look, there are two people over here. One bronze, one actual human. Hey, excuse me. Hey, I'm Ryan. I work for the News Herald. I was wondering if you would like to be in an interview for a story I'm working on.
Why, sure.
Awesome. You okay being on camera?
Yes.
Always ask.
That'd be great.
Okay, so one of the things you want to do whenever you're setting up an interview is make sure that the person is not staring directly into the camera.
Okay, so where do I need to be looking?
If you could, just imagine that there's a person here to the left of me, because in most cases there will be, and just look at them. Imagine like I'm not even there.
Okay.
So, how about that weather out here?
Well, it's actually pretty lovely. Me and Martha here were just talking about even though the trees are dripping and I'm getting wet right now, it's still a gorgeous, gorgeous day.
Okay, so that's
Right,
an example
Martha?
of how to frame. Oh, Martha, you got anything to add? All right, cool. So that's an example of how to frame somebody in the shot. Like we already said, you don't want the person looking directly into the camera. You also don't want the person looking off to the right. It looks like they're looking out of the frame, and you have a lot of white space there behind you.
White space.
So another important thing to do is make sure, whenever you can, that the words that the person you're interviewing is saying matches up with the shots. It's a nice way to go back and forth and sort of get a little visual variety going on. So what's the most fun thing you did today at the park?
I don't know if you've seen the elephant they have at Martha's Park, but it is so fun to ride, and that's what I've been doing all day. Alright, so now we're talking about emotion in videos, and one thing that's really important is you don't want to have boring people, you know, in your shots. That's just no fun. But what you want to look for is just people that are vibrant and just have so much emotion and action in everything they're doing, just people that will light your video up.
So now let's talk about natural sound. We can talk about that in two different ways. The first way being literally the natural sound of the air. Whenever I get out to a scene to shoot a video, the first thing I do is record about 30 seconds of natural sound. That way later on, when I have clips that I want to put together, I can use that natural sound to weave them and make it sound more natural. So we can also talk about natural sound in another way, and that's like actually picking up sounds. You know, a lot of times whenever you're doing video, you focus just on the interview sound and whatever sounds come out of your shots. But sometimes it's great to pick up actual natural sound to add in later. Like, was that a wolf? Was that an air horn? Did y'all hear that boing?
Hello all, this is Jonelle. I'm going to be talking about two of my videos that I've made recently before Christmas. The one that you're looking at right now is when me and another reporter went to a local nursing home and talked to residents about them Christmases when they were small, just memories they had and things like that. But I wanted to talk about how I first started out this video. I started it, as you can see, Let me rewind it here. Started out with the News Herald logo, and I used the resident's voice, the audio, before she even came into view. Sometimes, I use a music clip or have it silent. You just want to keep the viewer's curiosity going as much as you can. And we always have the subject looking at the person they are being interviewed at, not looking directly at the camera, as we've talked about before. And as you saw at the beginning of this video, I use captions to come up. Her name was Hanny Owens. She was a Grace Heights resident. I always give them a couple seconds to talk before that pops up. And one thing that I learned from this video is always keep your camera rolling during, longer than usual pauses, because sometimes people are thinking of what they want to say, and then they give you that golden moment, that perfect quote, when your camera's off. So even after a longer than usual pause, try to keep your camera rolling in case they do, keep talking about what they were discussing. Throughout the rest of this video, I'm not sure where at. Right here, yes, I use voiceover in parts of this.
She received these 2 porcelain dolls from a friend while she has been at Grace Heights.
That's just a portion of some voiceover that I did, and what I've kind of learned with voiceover is that you definitely have to talk slower than you normally speak, because you enunciate words very fast and people won't understand what you're saying. So make sure you talk slow, enunciate your words well, and always practice beforehand. I always write down what I want to say, and then whenever I record the voiceover, I just read it off of a piece of paper. And most importantly, use your voice to set the tone of the video. If you sound really sad, for a happy video, that's not gonna, connect well with the viewers. So always use your voice to set the tone of the video. Another thing I wanted to bring up was B-roll segments. Always make sure that your B-roll segments go along with what the video is talking about. This woman right here is talking about a Christmas tree that she had when she was little. So I found a Christmas tree in one of the residents' rooms and just got a quick clip of that and put it over what she was talking about. If there's no opportunity for B-roll, there's always an option of using photos. I had to do that right here in that segment when I was talking about the porcelain dolls this woman had, and sometimes you have to revert to photos if you don't have enough opportunity for video B-roll. I found a tree, obviously a nativity scene, and then got B-roll of the porcelain dolls, as you're seeing right now.
Okay, so one of the things we talked about was getting a variety of different shots. So whenever I start this video, it's going to start out with a shot of a flag. Now the flag's not necessarily something it's not actually the event, but it's a nice detail shot to sort of paint a picture of what the event's all about. So first off, we start with the flag, and then we cut to this guy. And one of the things we also talked about was finding people that are interesting or have a unique look. I thought this guy was pretty unique looking, and the way he was interacting at the festival seemed like he would be somebody who'd be willing to go on camera. And he ended up being very helpful and a good part of the video. We'll just wait here a little bit. There's something else I wanted to show really quick. Back to the variety of shots. A close-up here of somebody playing hacky sack. And another thing we talked about was continuity and finding repetitive motions and being able to make it look like it's one long clip. So right here, I just continued recording this guy from far away and up close, and was able to cut to make it look like one continuous motion. Just adds a nice little bit of visual variety and something unique. And I'm not sure if you could hear what he said right there, but he said there's a lot of families here with their youngins. So something else that's really helpful to do is to match up video with audio anytime you can. So he's there talking about youngins, about children, and then I cut to the children. So it just kind of goes with the story. Another child here. One of my critiques of my video is this guy right here. I believe that every 5 seconds something should change, and I start out good right here. About 5 seconds go by, and I cut to another shot. But he talks for a really, really long time, and as well as anybody that attention spans are really, really low right now, so if they just keep watching this guy over and over and over again constantly, wouldn't be surprised if they cut the video off. It was a little too long, I feel like. But right here, I pan. Not a huge fan of panning, but I feel like it works here because you kind of have to see what they were talking about. I didn't put myself in a good enough position to get a shot of both of them at the same time, so had to pan to that. And then I cut to him because, you know, there's a nice little transition, overall shot of him into a detailed shot of him talking. And you can see how the people that we're interviewing are framed in the video, not right in the center, off to the side a little bit. And he has sunglasses on so you can't see, but you want them looking across the camera. Man, my hand was closer than I thought. But you want them looking across the camera. He's not really doing that here, something I should have done. You don't want them looking off of the frame. It looks like they're looking away, and they should be looking, not directly at you, but looking into the frame. Let's see, I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. Hopefully you watch the video on your own time. Just kidding. Let's see. Here's something that's really good, and we talked about weaving audio. This audio is going to stay in the background. I keep the audio going even after the shot goes away. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it or not on the actual recording. Look for interesting people, like I said. The audio's still going, and even when the... Hold on. Sorry, I thought it was about to come up. Let's see. See, he's still going. I linked it all up. But even when a new shot comes on and Seth is his name, Seth's talking, you can still hear that audio in the background. So it seems like everything's happening without any like dramatic cuts, and then it ends with that audio as well. So weaving audio together really helps out in a video. And Operation Blue Christmas, Jonelle will talk about that one here in a little bit. So.
This next video I'm going to be talking about was for Operation Blue Christmas, when multiple police agencies surprise a family in need for Christmas with gifts and presents and a whole lot of other things. But to start out this video, I used a quote from the mother who was nominated and her family, and just some soft music in the background.
That while I am unable, there's a community that cares and loves. Those words are spoken by a Morganton mother.
And right here, what I was doing, using a detailed shot of the ornament, something that just connects with the story, since it was about Christmas time, and then I kind of pan off and to get a fuller image of the scene. This is what I call a scene setter. You know, it gives a little background about what we might be talking about. And that's the frame with Operation Blue Christmas that everybody had signed. And then, you know, with video like this, I tend to, you know, treat it like an essay. There is an intro, a body, and a conclusion. You know, like I just said, with the photo of the police officers right there, it kind of introduces what the subject is going to be about. And then this lady that you're looking at right now, she, you know, kind of explains why, you know, this family was in need. And then, you know, and then another thing that's really important is with B-roll is that you use B-roll that connects to what the person's talking about. The sheriff's getting ready to come up and talk, and he's going to be talking about a caravan. So when I was coming in with another one of our reporters, we got B-roll of this caravan coming in to where this house was located. You know, so that just helps to connect, you know, make sense of the video with what somebody's talking with, and then you actually see it. It just helps connect people to the video.